And we are back, episode 171 of Journey to a Million here on this Wednesday night. Myself, Drew Skyberg, joined here with Zack Rausch and Jared Valleskey. And look, it's been, being a football show and being a part of Wisconsin sports, valuing that a bunch. It's been, we've been focusing on our Packers. It's a little bit of the Colts for some reason. And then lastly, we've been really heavily on those Brewers. We've been very mindful of how they're doing. And what?
He's back.
No, we're going to talk about the Brewers. No, well, Brewers have to be a part of it a little here. It's been,
they can't hit a baseball.
Very exciting last 2 weeks. They are 3-4 in the postseason. But what if I told you they have won a series with that record?
I can tell you, game one was on Monday. I texted my brother, and this was 9:32. I have it saved. 9:32. I said, if we give up a run here, we're losing 2-1. That was when it was 1-0 in the ninth. And of course, we lose 2-1. Like, I knew that we were going to lose 2-1 because, if we give up a run in the ninth, we score a run in the ninth, and then we lose in heartbreak fashion.
Yep.
I said after Churio's home run to my brother, to Tyler, I was like, either we're gonna score 10 runs or that's gonna be our only run. And he's like, yeah, probably. Sure shit. 1 run. It's so predictable every year.
Down 2-0 in the series. Jared's acting like we're done though for some reason, which seems silly.
Well, no, everyone's like, no, listen. Everyone's like, oh, but the Bucks were down 2-0 to the Suns. The Bucks were down 2-0 to the Nets. Yeah, they were coming home. We were coming home being down 2-0. Like, we weren't down 2-0 going to their city where it's one of the toughest.
Where we won all 3 games.
Yes, but they're 17 for 21 in the postseason the last 2 years.
Yep.
We had to face Glasnow and Ohtani. With who?
Quintana
and Chad Patrick? Mizorowski? What are we doing?
Shoves.
We're not winning.
I'm
guessing Quintana's starting tomorrow. I'm guessing against Glasnow. And then it's going to be Miz. Well, it'll be an opener. And then Miz against Ohtani. We're not winning. That's not a game we're winning unless our offense puts up 8 runs.
Well,
I'm a fan.
I will say
I'm very confident, but I'm not unrealistic.
So vibes were electric game 1. And by the way, get-in price, this may surprise you both, was $37 an hour before the game. Tickets dropped that much for a CS game. Game 2, however, was still... They held at face value, so no premiums or anything. But why I bring that up is just the atmosphere for both games was electric. Game 2, 5th inning, you started. That was where the fans started getting a little disgruntled with the team. Kind of more how you fear Jared right now. But game 1 was it was right there. I mean, you gotta win one of 2 at least was the goal, and they had it. That was the game to win. So it just sucks that. Wasn't meant to be in either of those 2, I guess, but craziest double play I've ever seen. So that was cool. But
that was cool.
That's kind of the only talking point, that and Churio tying the franchise.
That and Turang is getting hate for not getting out of there for getting out of the way of a pitch. It's going for your knee. You're obviously gonna instinctively get out of the way.
You see that, Zach?
Yeah, he's got to wear that. He's got to take it. It's game time run, bottom of the ninth. You got it.
Yeah, but instinct.
It's coming for your shoulder. You just turn a little. You go into it, but it's going for his knee. It could hit his knee, break his knee.
Lift your leg up so it hits your shin or something.
Yeah, because you know exactly where that curveball is going to hit.
You got to take it.
That was
the worst part. Is his swing the next pitch. That's the part that's okay.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Been a tough postseason for him, and there's 2 fun stats that I don't know actually if Zach will know, so I'll just share them. Jared, you'll know them. So with Churio's 4th postseason home run, he is now tied to Orlando Arcia for the franchise postseason homer record. How do you feel about that? Then
he had 2 against Arcia had 1 against the Braves in 21. He had 2 against the Rockies in 18.
Sorry, 1 against the Dodgers.
And then 1 against the Dodgers in 18.
And I forgot the other stat, so shame on me. But there was another fun one that made no sense.
Probably Turang is 2 for 25 in the series with a home run and a double. Or something.
No, it's about Yelich. Yelich's last RBI was Game 7 of 2018 in the postseason. Zach,
The home run, the leadoff home run.
First inning of 2018.
Yeah, it's awful. It's so bad. Like, he's been in the playoffs 19, 20, 21, 23, 24.
He's out in 19.
He was out in 19. And then he was hurt in 24 too, actually. So
yeah, but to your point,
20,
yes,
21, 20. Yeah, it's just stupid.
Zach's itching to talk football, I think. Look, this week, from a power ranking perspective, I did share those with you both. It was one of the harder weeks, I'd say, because we had the, let's call them juggernauts fall. In I wouldn't say surprising fashion, but we really had some teams solidify, like Tampa Bay, solidify themselves as I'd say a true contender.
Are they really the best team in the league? Like, why are people all of a sudden saying that out of nowhere? Last week they were like barely top 6, and now everyone's like, oh, number 1, clear number 1.
I put them at number 1. I'm a sucker for that, but I'm not saying like maybe it's a bad way to look at it. If the season were on today, they're not the front runners for the Super Bowl, but they are.
Yeah,
I'd say they're one of the top NFC teams right now based on how they've performed. Obviously, I know the point differential, the fun differential, if you want to call it for them, but the way this team's played with the injuries they've had and have continued to win games cannot be doubted. Evans is going to be back. Look, they play Detroit next week. That's going to answer some questions, but I don't think I'm too out of place. Do you feel different? Anyone feel different on that on Tampa?
I don't think they're number 1 because I mean, this is their injuries. Their injuries are mainly on offense, right? I'm sure they have a few on defense, but that's why they're big ones, and that was never the question. The question is their defense, and I mean their defense is still fine.
So, well,
yeah.
Here's where I'm at with the defense. The defense has some gaps, right? They give up 19 points only to San Francisco. However, Mac Jones throws for 347 yards. I have a hard time, saying
with Kendrick Bourne as his top passing option.
Yeah, and he did well against the Rams.
Keyshawn Boutte.
So let's just look at that perspective. But yard
Henry didn't do anything either, though. So
Jared Boutte's in New England.
San Francisco had more yards.
I thought we were talking about Drake May.
No. Why would we talk about Drake May? We're talking about
Kendrick just said like 350 yards. Oh.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is with San Francisco.
You said Mac Jones. I thought you said Drake May.
Talk about Tampa's defense.
Well, what I'm going to say with Tampa's defense is Tampa got 2 turnovers. That's the difference in that game. What I really want to tell you both about is, it may surprise you, San Francisco actually outgained Tampa in yards, almost in first downs. This isn't to not say Tampa, their offense isn't good. The point here is their defense gives up yards. There's no question on it. They've been pretty good in the red zone. They've been able to mitigate with some turnovers. They've gotten kind of like Jacksonville. Jacksonville has been their bread and butter this year, getting turnovers to stop their opponent rather than stopping their opponent in terms of yardage. So we've seen that with that team. But I'd say overall, look, with Tampa, the defense is going to continue to be the X factor if they make it the next step. I'd say that's kind of the same with Buffalo too. I think Tampa and Buffalo are actually more similar than people think in terms of what's going to hold them back. So
which team, which offense are you taking we're assuming both teams are going to get in a shootout in the playoffs, right? At this point in the season, that's kind of the assumption.
Tampa and Buffalo, together or both?
No. Just
that doesn't make sense.
When they get to a playoff game, they're going to end up in a shootout at some point, right?
Yeah, most definitely. If they want to win the game, that's got to be the script for them.
So, which offense are you taking? One has Josh Allen, and one has a lot better weapons.
Definitely Buffalo, in my opinion.
Give me Tampa. Offensive line's going to get healthy. Look, Tampa's not even playing at full strength right now, and I'd argue to say that they've been the top offense in football.
So you take Tampa?
I just think you have 20 seconds on the clock, and you're down 2. Josh Allen's getting you in the red zone, or at least in field goal range, 9 out of 10 times. I'd say Baker does it 7 out of 10 times.
Baker's won one-score games. That's been his bread and butter this year.
Yeah, well, against bad teams, against decent teams, not amazing teams. That's where I struggle.
Josh Allen, right? It's Tampa has been a better offense this year, but there's definitely more trust with Josh Allen.
Yeah,
sure. And it's going to be. So, I mean,
I think here's where I'm struggling. Go ahead, Zach.
Here's where I'm struggling. Just really quick. So this is why I don't think Tampa. This is why it's like a double-edged sword, because I'm going to use my Colts as an example, right? So the Bucs have beaten the Falcons by 3, Houston by 1, the Jets, 0-6 Jets, by 2, lost to the Eagles, Seahawks by 3, and this was their first week where they won by more than one possession against the Niners, a team that was badly hurt. And yeah, they look good, but the Niners aren't healthy, right? They're beating bad teams by 1 or 2. They lost to the best team they played, and they finally had a convincing win against a team that's very badly hurt. Now I'm going to use this as
you could say Tampa's just as hurt as San Francisco is right now.
Yeah, they're not healthy either. They're not. Yeah, but they're beating bad teams by like 1 point, 2 points, whatever. I'm just saying, when you look at like a team like the Colts, why are they 8th in power rankings when they've beaten bad teams by 20 or 30, and they've beaten good teams or played up until the final drive with like the Rams, for example? I don't see the difference here. I'm going
to just say one thing, Zach. You take it then. The win in Seattle for Tampa Bay was more impressive than any of the Colts' other wins, 38-35.
That's true. Yep.
So I'd say that Atlanta just beat Buffalo, and they just won in. They won in Atlanta week 1 by 3. So those are just 2 wins right there. And maybe if you want to not count that Buffalo, if you just want to I'm fair with that, right? Right. That Buffalo game in Atlanta, we can say it's kind of fluky. I agree. Yeah. But I also would say the Jets, that game was also, I would conversely say that one's a little fluky too, right? The last second field goal, that game just ended up being a lot closer score wise than it should have been. They blew that one. So Zach, go.
So the thing with, right, you look at the 2 teams right now, who's healthier? Just comparing Colts and Buccaneers. Without a doubt, it's the Colts. Without a doubt.
We're starting our 5th and 6th string cornerbacks this week. We had to sign Jermaine Pratt last week to start.
Good game.
Offense, yes, we're healthier.
Tampa Bay has 2.
Defense, we're way less healthy.
2 all-pro Pro Bowl tackles. Both of them missed, 4+ weeks this year.
Yeah, offensive-wise, we're healthier. Yes, definitely. Offensive-wise, we are healthier.
Tampa, on offense, that's their strength, right? That's how they're competing against teams, right? Everyone knows their defense isn't great. Their offense is their strength, and outside of Baker, their top 6, or 6 of their top 7 players have missed multiple weeks this year. Obviously, Ibuka's going to. He hasn't yet, but
Bucky.
Yeah, Bucky's been out. Mike Evans been out. Godwin's been out. Both tackles have been out. And they're still, granted, their wins are a lot closer, but they still have more quality wins than the Colts.
I mean, do they?
You look at the teams in the playoffs, right? Is anybody stopping Tampa's offense once everyone's back and healthy in a few weeks? No. Nobody's stopping that offense.
I watched them play against the Jets, and I watched them play this week. I was more impressed this week. But that game against the Jets and even the Texans, I watched that game because I'm cheering for I was obviously cheering for the Bucs. They didn't look good. They did not look like a good team. I don't know what else to say.
To be play a close game and not play to your full potential, but it's another thing to have a game where it's you're completely shut down and can't do anything. If there's one offense that I see that happening to, it's going to be the Colts over the Buccaneers. Right? You could have the best defense in the NFL in the last 10 years. I still think Tampa's putting up 20. Assume if their receivers are healthy, their line's healthy, everything.
It's a good offense. And I think Packers are kind of, illustrate the idea that Zach just said, not playing your fullest, right? That's an offense that has not lived up to the thing. That's why we're not even talking about.
But that's another thing with me, Drew. That's another problem I have. The Packers, they're a good team. Yeah. They are. They gave up 40 to the Cowboys, tied, lost to the Browns, right? Yeah, they beat the Commanders, they beat the Lions, good wins, and now they just beat, who did they just play?
They beat the Bengals.
The Bengals with Joe Flacco starting, a pretty bad team, right? So you have like, I'd say 1.5, maybe 2 quality wins, a really bad loss, and you couldn't put away the Cowboys. The Commanders are decent. The Commanders are decent. They're 3-3. They're not like amazing. They're good, but they're like
just playoff
decent.
Team, it's all right.
Well, yeah. Well, so are the Colts. So are the Jags this year so far. So are the Patriots. Like I wouldn't call that a quality win. I'd be like, yeah, it's a good win, but it's not like you're not beating the Chiefs. You're not beating the Bills. Like the Lions. You beat the Lions, great win. But my point is like, if you're talking about dominance, teams that have looked dominant, you cannot say the Packers have been a top 3 dominant team this year. When they lose to the Browns, they give up
first one.
They've shown all the potential in the world to be able to do that, and that's
you can't even say they convincingly beat the Bengals. That was a 1-score game with we
know they play down to their competition. They play close games. That's what they do,
and they take their foot off the gas every single game at halftime.
Well, they're not number one.
But we also saw what they did to the top offense.
Jared, every team now has a flaw. I don't know. That's why it's been the hardest week. Every team in the top 10 has a flaw. We can go down the line.
What do you think the Colts' flaw is then?
Their defense stinks.
The secondary
injured. They're hurt. But you didn't use that as an example as to put Tampa Bay at 1.
Because Tampa's offense is way better than Indianapolis's.
That's just not. Oh my god.
Tampa's probably 1 and Indianapolis is probably 8.
Dude,
7
we're
or 8.
averaging like 33 points a game this year.
Yeah, against cupcake defenses.
Oh my god, yeah, the Bengals, the Rams, terrible defense. Or the Broncos and Rams, terrible defenses, awful. Putting up 20 plus on both of them.
We've been over this Broncos thing multiple times.
What, are they not good? Are they not a top 10?
They
top
were
5
week
defense?
2. They started out really bad.
Doesn't matter. Neither were the Commanders. Neither were the Lions week 1. It's still a good win.
I think Nick
It's
Bonino
still a good win for
player of the year.
You can't look back at the season and just say Packers didn't have any good wins because they beat the Lions week 1. They look terrible. It's still a good win. They still beat them dominantly. You can't say that's not quality because of when they played them. It's the same players on the same team playing a game. It's NFL. How are you saying that?
But beating a team when they are playing bad, like when they have, say, a 3-week stretch where they're playing bad, if you beat them in that stretch versus you beat them in a 3-week stretch where they're playing the best football anybody's ever seen play, that's different. It's a different kind of win.
So explain the Commanders last year then. And the Texans 2 years ago. Make the playoffs playing
they got hot,
okay.
Yeah.
They win one game and they're like, oh my God, they're such a good team.
They get hot in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying.
Bad.
Last year, beating Commanders week 16 or whatever, like the last week they played their starters were, versus week 3, it's a different kind of win. You're still beating the same team. They have the same guys out there, but it's a different kind of team.
I just think you find any excuse to discredit the Colts when they win a good game. Or like if we win this week, it's going to be, oh, but Johnston didn't play. He wasn't fully healthy. The Colts still look terrible on defense. There's always something you bring up every single week. We win last week on our 5th and 6th string cornerbacks. Oh, PI in the end zone. They should have lost. There's always something. Like, why? We won.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
Everyone says that.
Well, okay.
I didn't watch the game. I have no idea.
Colts are I get how I have them ranked. I have them as my third favorite AFC team. I think that's non-negotiable. I would say Kansas City and Buffalo still over them right now, unfortunately. You tell me if that's.
I'm not going to sit here and argue that. I'm not going to argue that.
I mean, I'm just trying to bring it back together.
Kansas City.
What?
Do I think the Colts are better than Kansas City? Do I think we've been more dominant this year? Yes. Do I think we're a better team? No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's just. I think that's true.
I think Buffalo and Indianapolis. If Buffalo falters again, Buffalo's not a bye. So let me say that for next week. But look, I'm gonna have some real questions, right? If Indianapolis goes into LA this week, they win, and I mean, I don't know. Buffalo, those last.
There's going to be something. It's going to be something. Herbert had a bad game. Amari and Hampton's on the IR. There's going to be a reason as to why we won. Well, see, there's always an excuse. They ignore our injuries and say, well, you beat this team without them. You should beat Kyle. You should beat the Cardinals. They had Jacoby Brissett, who actually is way better than Kyler Murray, just saying. But you can't. There's always an excuse. He is. Jacoby
Brissett did look good. He did look good.
Pretty good.
Jared, I'm just saying, if the Colts go and give up 100 yards to Kamani Vidal, I'm probably going to say something to you about it.
Well, I can assure you that's not happening because our run defense has been amazing this year. It's our pass defense because we have no cornerbacks.
Okay.
I think
I hope it doesn't happen. There's no way that happens.
Jared, I was thinking about
if he has a if he pulls a Rico Dowdle on you guys, that's
he has no business.
It's going to look bad. Might be out of the top 10.
Wow.
Like, okay,
even if we win, we'll win by 20, but Vidal will go for 150 and 11th best.
Raise some questions.
I have cooled myself a little on Jacksonville, not because they just lost, but they got absolutely. I kind of told you guys this, but I went back and watched a little bit. I told you like Seattle like flat out dominated the line. Like it was actually worse than I thought. Like after just watching more of it, like Jacksonville. I don't know if it was like Seattle. Obviously, was probably one of the best front sevens they faced this year. Granted, they had San Francisco; they were a little hurt, banged up or whatnot. They faced Houston earlier, but they couldn't. They really couldn't establish the run, and like that's kind of like the bread and butter with this team. So was something I'm like they have the Rams next week. So does Jacksonville? So I'm like, okay, shoot, that's probably not a good matchup either. That like in terms of stopping the run, they go at Houston in 2 weeks. So it's like the next few weeks, there are a couple of defenses where it's like, are they going to be able to actually run the football? So that might be a point Jared wants to hear. But I don't know. I think this offense we might have to cool back down with for a couple of weeks. I mean, they have the Raiders actually the following one, but I don't know. Kind of concerned. So
I've never been too worried about them. I've said, yeah, they're a good team, but I'm still more worried about the Texans than I am the Jags. I mean that. Even though the Texans haven't looked the best, I still think they're a better team than the Jags are, personally.
No, the Texans stink.
I wouldn't go there, but
just don't think they're. I don't know. They're going to string a few wins together, and they're going to be a nine win team. Jags are going to win like 8.
Incompetent outside of going against Baltimore, which
Houston does. Sorry, couldn't hear you, Zach.
Yeah.
Houston goes to Seattle for Monday night. So there's 2 Monday night games again. It's the 6 and 9 p.m. start times again. We're going back to that after how much we hated it. ESPN heard our feedback, so they brought it back.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite. So I don't know. The games this week, I was kind of looking through. I like them more than last week. Granted, last week was kind of an unlikable ish slate.
I wonder.
So I don't know if you guys saw Thursday's Pittsburgh at Cincy. Fine. Sunday we have LA and Jacksonville. I think that'll be a better game. Okay, that Sunday game. This is kind of why I brought it up. Was hopefully this Jacksonville Ram game over in London is better than the one we got last Sunday. I mean, talk about snooze fest. I mean, there's so many. That was one of the worst games for me starting Justin Fields in multiple leagues, but also the fact that what was it? -10 net passing yards.
Yep. Well, I was looking at the box score, and I wasn't actually watching the game. It looked like both teams were like first and second down, handoff, get 2 yards pop, and then 3rd and 6, incomplete pass or sack or 2-yard gain or something like that, and then punt.
If you want to know what happened,
Fields had 45 passing yards. Just saying.
Yeah.
Well,
got sacked 9 times.
I'll tell you. Okay, Bo Nix. Like I'm actually starting with Bo Nix here because we're seeing the Justin Fields experience. This is what it is. Nix did not look good. There's no way to say it nicely. The stats were okay. They weren't great, but 19 of 30, 174 yards, like 1 touchdown, no picks. But he only took 1 sack. So like that was the other piece too. It was not like he wasn't getting, like he wasn't getting pressured too much. It really came down to just not executing throws, missing throws again. I think part of the problem is
Broncos defense at all in that game.
Broncos defense was awesome in this one. They've been great the last
Zach,
2 weeks.
You do credit that. Okay, so now they're a good defense, but week 2 they sucked.
I say they sucked, but they were playing a lot better now than they were then. They went from
it's the same players.
Probably like a top 12 defense to a top 3 defense.
Wow. So now they're top 3, but when we played them, they were 12. Okay.
I actually don't hate that. Like, not to.
I mean, Jared, like
he's
you look
probably
after the first 2
closer.
weeks, Packers defense, you're
changed?
probably saying they're top 3, right?
What changed?
No, answer this question, Jared. Right? Packers defense
What?
after the Commanders game and Lions game, you're probably saying they're top 3, right? They played
Everyone
dominant
was, because that was the narrative. Micah Parsons is there. They look
Are they
amazing.
still top 3? After giving up 40
They have
to
the
the
potential
Cowboys?
to be top 3. They have the
But
potential
they're
to be
not.
a top 3 team.
They're not anymore.
But I still respect them as a great defense. Maybe they had a few bad weeks, but they're still a great defense. The Broncos are still a great defense, and they were still a great defense week 2.
They were, but they were playing more like the Packers.
They just went against a Colts offensive line that does not allow sacks. They went against good enough Daniel Jones that just carved them up. I don't know what else to say. Like,
I'm just saying they were playing like a Packers defense against Cincinnati instead of a Packers defense against Detroit. It's fine, you know. But it was
but whenever the Colts win or whenever something happens in the Colts game, there's no attention to the Colts. It's always okay. So the Colts just lost to the Rams. Wow, Stafford, top 3 team, the Rams, and they were like number 4 on power rankings, best team in the NFC.
You bet
the Rams are amazing. And then the week before that, the Colts beat the Titans 40-16, whatever it was. I mean, wow, the Titans are the worst team in the league. They're terrible. Cam Ward is so bad.
I mean,
then they beat the Broncos. Oh, they should have lost. Oh my God, it's all about the Broncos. Nobody cares about the Colts. It's always about who they played and why they lost or won.
Leverage. No, I get. And then when the Colts lose, it's gonna be about the Colts not being good enough.
Well, when the Colts lost to the Rams, I guess they can compete against the Rams, but the Rams just look so good. They have no holes in their team. They're amazing. And if we lose this week, you lost to a team that doesn't have their starting running back. Oh my God.
Zach's gonna be all over that one.
And if we win, it's wow, they weren't healthy. Like, there's always an excuse against the Colts. We're a great team. We are a great team. That's just the end of it. I don't know why we're 8 in power rankings. We're 5-1. We're one of 2 5-win teams. And we're 8. How? It makes no sense. In my opinion. I'm still trying to understand how we're 8 and not top 5. Like, we have looked the best. We have the highest point differential. We have the highest point differential in the league. We have the most points scored this year on offense. We're amazing on offense. Our defense, the only reason we've allowed points is because we're hurt. But nobody cares. I don't get it.
I hate the point differential argument in this case.
Yeah. It's a fun differential.
And it scoops out the bad teams. The Niners have a negative point differential. The Seahawks and Rams have a positive point differential. They're all 4-2. It shows which teams are actually dominant.
Jared, I'm just saying you guys got 70, 75 points from 3 of the bottom 5 teams. So that
I don't like. That's another
thing. You play those 3 games, you could lose by 15, and you'd still have. You could be 3-3, and with those 3 games, you'd be positive point differential.
I don't think there's enough credit shown to beating a team by 40. It's like, oh, you beat a bad team. Okay, you beat a bad team. Yeah, we beat them by 35. Like, it's different than winning by 2. In my opinion, it looks better. It's a better win. It's a more put together win. I don't know. Like the Broncos beat the Jets this week. Yeah, they're 1-0. Beat them by 2. Colts beat the Titans by 26. Yeah, they're 1-0. I mean, it's just a better win. It looks better. I don't care if we've only played 1 or 2 decent teams. Our wins are still so convincing that it's like, oh, if we would have played the Chiefs this week, we scored 40. Maybe we scored 30 against them. We could have still won with, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
Talking more about week 7 as we took a little turn there.
Sheer Ice is back.
Yes.
Garrett Wilson's out. I mean, I'm just saying, drafting your Sheer Ice over Garrett Wilson doesn't sound too bad now, does it?
Well, what's our record?
Oh, yes, the other plays again.
Jared's now on the team, so Jared can talk along. McLaurin might be back, but
your team's pretty bad, not gonna lie.
Yeah, we didn't show you before we made you join. That was our secret.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. 2-4.
No, we're gonna win this week. Look, Zach. I I have a hard time actually pumping the brakes right now because they talk about already the talk is Rice is going to have a full workload and then some. At least the preliminary things I've been reading on from Chiefs camp. Obviously they play Vegas, so like script wise that's awesome. They're favored to win by 2 scores.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they don't go up 3 scores in the first quarter.
Yeah, so it's like okay, that's an option. Obviously that's the beauty in the noon slate. We probably won't get that one though. Again that's the CBS, but the other noon slate games are just somewhat snooze fest. Miami at Cleveland, New England at Tennessee, New Orleans at Chicago, Philly at Minnesota is going to be good. That's going to be a good stress test for both teams. Well, Philly needs to win bad. And then Carolina at New York. Are the Jets going to win a game? Jets still aren't favored, by the way. Carolina minus 1.5 on the road. Sorry, I wanted to throw that in there. That tells you how good it's been decent.
I mean, Carolina played decent against Dallas last week.
Carolina is one of the most interesting 3-3 teams we've seen. I'd say. I mean, I think there's just no question on that. Like that team has looked terrible and has looked dominant. Again, going back to that Atlanta win. So, I don't know. I am hoping to see Kansas City just kind of. We talk about like Mahomes it's Mahomes and Baker right now, basically for the MVP now. Just that's how fast
it is. Yeah, of course it is.
What?
Of course it is. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, not just the most dominant quarterback all year, Daniel Jones, but or Jordan Love even, I'd say. No, it's got to be Mahomes and
Jones
Baker.
is 9th right now in MVP odds.
Yeah, I know he is. I looked at it. And
I'm just talking based on what Vegas is thinking.
Both of those guys have better stats.
Yeah. Oh, Drake May's stats, are they comparable to Jones?
Probably, yeah. I mean, Drake May's played great. That's not a...
Drake May, well, okay, like actually just talking like of quarterbacks who played the best this year, this is actually probably a good segue. I'd say, well, I don't know, it's hard to say, like Mahomes and Baker probably have been the 2 best statistical quarterbacks. I don't know, Jared's looking down oddly.
Daniel Jones is never going to win MVP with JT there. It's just not.
Daniel Jones
touchdowns.
Statistically, Jones has probably been a top 5 quarterback though.
Yeah.
He's just funny to me. I don't know.
He's not going to get the credit when JT's scoring 8 touchdowns, though.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's funny because like
you can't.
Well, it's funny to me because it's like, what makes Mahomes MVP favorite over Jones right now?
He's been throwing
like what?
I mean, Tyquan Thornton. He's made like actually a relevant receiver.
Yeah, and Jones revived Pittman's career.
He's the best rusher on the team.
20 receiver.
He's basically been carrying that offense all year.
Who?
Mahomes. JT's carried the Colts offense.
Yeah.
I mean, aren't the Chiefs like, what are they, 4-2 or are they 3-3?
3-3.
3-3.
Yeah.
I mean, from statistically speaking, right? If you want to look at stats, like it's you think that
you have to be a top like 2 seed probably in the playoffs to win MVP.
But I'm talking like actual stats this year so far. Who's been better, right? And you can't tell me that Jones has been worse than Mahomes. You can't convince me.
Jones has been worse than Mahomes.
Statistically. It's just objective. It's objectively incorrect.
Okay, Jared. Let me read the stats, right?
Yep.
Passing yards, 1,500, Daniel Jones. Patrick Mahomes, 1,500. Rushing yards, 222 to 76. Total touchdowns, so rushing and passing, 12 to 15. Interceptions, 2 to 3.
Passer rating, 99.9 to 104.3. Just leave out the most important quarterback stat is a rating, how you are rated on the game. I mean,
I don't know. I'm looking at Sleeper. It doesn't.
And you're saying that one of those is MVP with a 3-3 record, and the other one is 9th best in odds with a 5-1 record and the 1 seed in the AFC.
One of them had 0 run game as support. The other one's had
0 run game.
Yeah, Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. I mean, have you seen their stats? Mahomes might be the leading rusher on the
quarterback
season.
run game. I thought you were talking about
I was hoping he was talking about the Colts running game.
Quarterback.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jared, like I said, Mahomes has 150 more rushing yards than Daniel Jones. Mahomes is he leading Kansas City in rushing yards?
I think so. I was trying to look at that. I thought I read something about that, and I believe he still is. I just didn't know what the Sunday night game.
I know he has multiple.
It's because they're the Chiefs. It's because they're the Chiefs.
Well,
that's a part of it.
Very good.
That's a part of it, right? Yeah. Josh Allen will always be a favorite. Mahomes will always be a favorite.
Yeah, those are right? Those guys in Baker right now are the top guys.
Yeah, I mean, Jared, it's the same thing.
I don't understand.
Remember, was it 2 years ago when CMC had that huge year? I mean, Purdy statistically was up there with the top quarterbacks too, but he wasn't really in conversation because it's like,
no,
CMC they're helping him out,
most valuable, not best stats.
Even you, Zach. Be honest. Looking at that stat comparison is closer than you thought, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, to start the season, most definitely, Jared. Nobody thought that would be the case,
and that's my argument. Is like they're pretty comparable stats. One team is 5-1, one team's 3-3. But you're going to give the MVP to a team that's not even a playoff team right now.
I'm sorry,
not to keep going back to this though, but have you seen who Kansas City's played?
They barely beat the Giants.
They've had the hardest schedule to start.
Brutal.
And they barely beat the Giants. I don't know.
Yeah,
they beat the Jaguars by like 3, or they lose to
Chargers.
The Jaguars.
They lost them.
Chargers,
lost to the
Eagles, Giants, Ravens, Jaguars, Detroit. That's probably at least 4 playoff teams.
Ravens are 1-5 without Lamar.
Yeah.
They actually have Lamar in that one.
Jags we just said don't look as good as we thought they might be. Yep. The Giants are the Giants. And then 3 good teams.
I was just saying Jags probably aren't a 10-11 win team like what we thought the upside was. That was kind of
they're still gonna be like 500 though, at least.
Yeah. Oh, they're still gonna be I still think they're a 9-win team. That was one I was saying. I just think
it's
the
still
run game is cuteness over there has been figured out.
Yeah, but I mean you look at it, it's like four winning records when they played them.
Yeah.
4 teams I just over 500.
I think it's silly to debate where, like, if we're upset with Vegas, where Jones is. I think there's better things to discuss, Well,
my argument here, like in the end, about like MVP and like team success and how good a team has looked compared to a different team. Going into this year for the Colts, you look at their schedule, you look at their team. We're 5-1. We look amazing. Nothing could have ever changed the public mindset because we played bad teams or we played decent teams at best.
Correct.
Like, how can we change that? Like, what could we have done differently to be a top 2 team right now, top 3 team?
Nothing. You just have to wait until your schedule gets harder. That's all you got to do.
We've beaten bad teams by a lot, and we've played tough to good teams, right? Like, that's all we can do.
Yeah, you just have to. You have to merge your schedule. You just have to wait until you play.
Look at the Patriots, Jared.
Yeah.
Like you said,
Jared probably still not getting
like you said, though, the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs. Like they've been playing pretty good recently. They've been one of the best teams recently. But at the start of the year, they looked terrible.
It's a long season.
The Colts have looked good every single week. That's my argument. The Chiefs haven't. The Bills haven't. The Eagles haven't. The Lions haven't. Packers haven't. Colts have looked good every single week. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know.
All right. But okay, the 3:00 slate as we got that one will be
Colts Chargers.
Well, they are on there unfortunately, so we might have to hear about the Colts again. But New York and Denver.
Oh, all right. I don't get my last question.
Sorry, I was just gonna say New York Giants at Denver, and then the Fox. Fortunately, we will get Green Bay and Arizona, but there is the game of the week. I believe is actually Washington and Dallas, which actually sounds interesting.
That sounds fun to watch.
Sounds like a lot of points. Over under right now, guys, is 55.5, largest by far.
I'll take the over at 70.
That'll be fun. It's higher than Tampa, Detroit, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. Atlanta and San Francisco. That is Sunday Night Football, so that should be something to watch. But Tampa and Detroit, the 6 p.m. game on Monday is kind of the one I'm looking forward to. The Brewers will be playing Game 6 though then, and Game 7 on Tuesday. So
it just won't be. I'm sorry.
You're so negative.
We're not getting back to AmFam.
Okay. And then Houston at Seattle at 9 p.m. That's brutal. That needs to just stop. So, what were you saying, Zach?
Saying I think you're getting your way. I think the NFC West is should be easy for the Rams to wrap up now. I mean, losing Fred Warner and Nick Bosa on a single defense, that's I don't know how you overcome that.
Yeah, and obviously
the Seahawks, you giving up on them, or?
Oh yeah,
I like Seattle too. I love Seattle. I don't know if you noticed. I'm a Rams and Seattle.
But why? No. You're gonna have to defend this. Why? You hated Sam Darnold and the Vikings last year, so why do you like the Seahawks this year?
I think this defense. Okay, sorry, they're a good regular season team. I like them in the regular season.
Okay,
so
they're a cutie. That's what you're saying.
They're
like a goose egg in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're a cutie that I think might win.
I was about to grill you for
11
thinking.
games.
Yeah. Okay.
I think. Well, I'll just tell you kind of how I feel about the NFC. I was looking. The NFC is better than the AFC this year. I won't debate. I mean, I'm not even going to spend time on that. I think they just inherently will be. I think from just an overall standpoint, I think there's going to be some teams you'll be surprised miss the playoffs in the NFC. I think Minnesota is going to miss the playoffs. I think Washington might miss the playoffs. Those are the kind of two that I'd say right now, which you may feel surprised about. I think I think it's going to come down to Seattle, Green Bay, like the 3 wildcard teams. Let's say Green Bay wins the division. I know they're ahead right now, but Seattle's going to be a wildcard team. Green Bay is going to be a wildcard team, and then I don't know. I could still see San Francisco sneaking over one of those teams, which sounds weird. I could see 3 West teams in this year. Obviously, the schedule has some cannibalization with it, just inherently when you have 3 division teams.
The Broncos have a chance to win their division.
Yes.
That offense needs to figure it out, but yeah. I would say, I mean, honestly, I know Atlanta's been playing really good lately, but I think they're still kind of being underrated a little bit. They're going to be fighting for a wild card spot.
I think, this is going to sound pretty bold, I think they're going to finish with a better record than Minnesota.
Broncos, you think?
Nope, Atlanta. They're both 3-2 right now. I think Atlanta's going to enjoy. They got 2 games against Carolina and New Orleans. That was the other thing I was going to mention, which you maybe I'd be like, oh, Drew, you mentioned San Francisco, but not. No, I think
Carolina.
I think Atlanta is the team, which obviously they've already lost to Carolina pretty convincingly. Well, that was just absolute blowout. Yeah. But I think Atlanta kind of going through. I think you're gonna get a 9, maybe a 9-win team now. Sneak. I know you're talking about like 10 wins might not do it, but like I don't know. Now seeing it with the Zach we have. It's hard to say.
I guess Drew, you too, you can answer, but Zach's the one that said this. Like, who do you think the offensive player of the year is this year now? I mean, Puka's only going to probably miss 1 week, but
should be Bijan as of now.
Why Bijan over JT though? Like, an honest question, like not being
biased. I was looking at the numbers after Bijan obviously had a huge game Monday night. He has 70 more all-purpose yards than JT in 1 less game right now.
That's crazy.
And it's like, yeah, you could say JT is the whole Colts offense. You're using that argument. Look at Atlanta. I mean, yeah, he has Drake London helping him out, but other than that, it's like he's pretty much the Atlanta's offense too. So it's like that's not really an argument there. JT has him on touchdowns, yeah, but
I think that might get JT
has like
award.
8 touchdowns so far this year or something.
Yeah,
he's got a lot.
Has like 4 or something. Well, but it's just
I mean, yards per carry is JT. It's close. It's probably close.
No idea. Bijan has like 4.
But like, yeah, JT's been actually involved in the passing game this year too. But Bijan's obviously
that's
more.
What we wanted.
Yeah, I'm just saying like that yards, 70 extra yards in 1 less game. I mean, you're looking at that as like your realistic split's probably closer to 200, right? If you add that extra game for Bijan.
I don't even think it's an extra game though, because like JT sat 2 halves because we've been up by 30. Like,
it doesn't matter.
Technically, they've played the same, but yeah.
It doesn't matter because that's not evening out for the rest of the season.
Well, no, I'm just
you
saying.
Don't play the whole game.
We haven't had our bye week yet, so once we have our bye week, we'll see where
I'm saying that extra game is going to even out. I don't care that JT sat 2 weeks. That's never going to change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In terms of team games, you're looking at probably close to 200-yard spread.
I want to see who's favored right now, actually.
Well, JT's favored, and I'll tell you why. He actually is favored. Actually, he's like, I'm going to pull it up before I talk when I say JT is, of course, it's taking me so long now, minus 105. Bijan's plus 360. So there you go. What I was going to say is I think Zach's underestimating how much counting stats count towards votes in this. I think Bijan's the best offensive player in football, and I think Zach just proved that with what he said, and partly, right? Well, if you watch the impact they have, I think the voters are going to go more towards counting stats, and also, I would say the Colts right now are on track to win more games than the Falcons this year.
They probably will,
yeah, we can say that. So, I think that's how it's going to lean because of that. But I do think, I shouldn't say I think. I know Bijan is the more talented all-around back. That's not even. I don't even know if we can debate that right now.
I'm just saying, if we get to the end of the season and say Bijan has 2,400 all-purpose yards, JT's like 1,900, 2,000 somewhere in there. I mean, you look at a couple 100-yard spread. That's going to take a lot to overcome.
I mean, maybe it's because I watch every Colts game. I know I've talked about him a lot, but I think JT is still the most underrated player in the league. Like, nobody gives him his flowers, like, ever. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I saw this stat. I took a screenshot of it. I have it here. It's most rushing yards per game, NFL history, like, of all time. You got Jim Brown at 102, Barry Sanders, 99.8, Terrell Davis, 97.5, Eric Dickerson, 90.8, JT, 90.2. He's fifth all time in rush yards per game.
What about all-purpose yards?
Jared.
But like my point here is like you're still going to find a way to hate on it.
Jared, also answer your question before we're
just Harbor Bijan.
Bijan's at 5.83 and JT is at 5.24 for yards per carry.
Yeah, I knew JT would be less just because Bijan's broken a lot of big ones. Like he had that 80-yard touchdown this week, and
I mean they have a 32
touchdowns, like 50.
They have a 32 rush difference between the two of them right now.
Rush difference, like JT's ran the ball 32.
JT has 115 attempts and Bijan has 83.
Wow.
Which
does help average too, but it's also more impressive for Bijan because he's done it with less. So.
I mean, you don't want to hear that for receptions, yards per reception. Then
I'm sure Bijan's like,
it's
9 yards per reception or something. JT's like 4.
JT is 20 for 147, and Bijan is 24 for 338.
Yeah, well, Bijan's also like an actual like flex receiver when he's not a running back. JT's just like a flats receiver at most. So
yeah,
but
I'm just saying the efficiency Bijan's shown this year is off the charts. Like it's kind of nuts. And it's like, I mean, he was on Monday night, he had 25 touches and 240 yards. You know, that's almost 10 yards a touch on.
I didn't watch the game, obviously. I was watching the Brewers, but I saw the stats. That's all I really saw.
Mm-hmm.
It shows, drafting a running back top 10. Obviously, that's not the sole reason they won the game, but look, when you have a guy that can have 80-yard house calls, makes it a whole lot easier for a Michael Penix-led offense. That's all I'm saying. I think that's something.
It was out of like the Falcons' total. Like I saw it overall is like between maybe it's just first half. It was like Bijan and Drake London had like 260 of 310 total yards for him.
Yeah. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I was down in a league by 65, and I had Drake London and Bijan left. I beat the guy. That was that was that league where I picked them, or I have them both. Like, I was like, oh, this is kind of weird because like there's that whole cannibalization thing. Like, you shouldn't have two, the number one, like for receiver and running back. And I was like, let's give it a shot. It's actually, I found it works. But
you want to hear something crazier?
Go ahead.
I mean, maybe not crazier. Yours might be crazier, but I had Matt Prater and Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
I was up by 5, and I was against Kyle Pitts. I won by like 2.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, come on. How does that happen? And nobody had a good game. It was just a bunch of mid, but Kyle Pitts had like probably the best game out of all 3. It was close between him and Adunze.
Like 3 or 4 catches.
We
yeah, it was like 12 yards or something.
Updating the Vampire League, we are now so we're second in points scored, but we're gonna be 2 and 3. Or sorry, that doesn't make sense. We're gonna be 3 and 3. We our IDP guys, we have Fred Warner, we have Brian Branch. We're now down to, we just lost our top 2 IDP guys in Vampire.
For a week. Branch is out a week.
But you lose another player. We just lost, I think, Genty, but we got Amari in Hampton. The guy traded us Hampton, so obviously.
Oh, that's great. Good thing he's healthy.
Oh, exactly. We have Rasheed Rice too.
You'll
He's
keep
back
him
now.
for a while.
Yeah,
Team's still okay. Just defense is problem.
Sounds like you have 3 spots that are just tanking this week.
Yeah, which
Did you win one
as
week
you
because
know,
of a stat correction too?
we won because of a stat correction. Yes, it's my
You should
favorite
be
one.
2 and 4 with like.
But we're second in
I don't
points
know.
scored. I'll keep
James
going
Conner
there.
and Miles Sanders. Like,
No, there are some. You guys, when the year ends, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna read the worst team. It gets ugly.
yeah,
I mean, it's like,
At what point do you just stop looking at that league?
We've never
We're
been
still
at that
like
point, so
1-3.
we're worried we're gonna be there this year because of how everything's shaking out. We've been winning every like the last 2 years. We were in the championship game. So, I will say the teams
the bottom
at the
team's
end,
just
like,
gonna have all the injured players.
that.
right?
Yep. So that's what happened last year. The guy had all the injury, and then there's like a Raheem Mostert, and then there's like you might have Emmanuel Wilson. You have all the handcuffs. Like
Yeah, he's got
that never happened.
Malik Neighbors, Joe Burrow, James Conner. That's probably all on his team.
Yeah.
Like-
right now, one guy's got like Tyreek Hill, Neighbors.
Yeah,
His receiving duo at the start of the year, or his receiving trio, legit. Just
now, if
unfortunate.
you take that name, if you take that team and like draft that team, you're looking like a top team. But like now,
Yeah.
it's
the joys.
the worst in the league. Yeah.
The
Okay,
joys.
you want to hear some? I'm gonna say this is a team that I have.
What do you got?
Points for, 2nd in the league. Points against, 8th. What do you think the record is?
You should be 4 and 2. 5 and 5 and
Nah,
1.
you're 3 and 3.
You're probably 3 and 3.
Yep, 3 and 3. It's
Brutal.
yeah.
Have you guys paid attention to Boston Scott at all, or no?
Didn't you win again?
Yeah.
4
Points
and 2?
for, 8th. Points against, 11th.
We need you.
4 and 2.
Yeah, me and Drew are both out of the playoffs, and we've outscored you by 170.
Yeah.
Oh, I have. Drew hasn't.
I've scored the 8th
Oh.
most, and I've had the 11th most score, 11th
You-
the least scored against
Hey,
me.
Jared, I
I'm
think of Trent,
third in both.
and I think of you. I think you have that magic in you. I think you have the fun differential. You're also a fun
I think I
differential.
have a
guy
chance
there.
to make it to the playoffs and
Cam
lose second round,
Scatterbo,
maybe get 3rd place.
all the haters. You drafted him 2-4.
Yeah.
You drafted him like 5 or 6 spots out of ADP at the time.
And I also drafted him ahead of Luther Burden, and Zach gave me shit for it, but
Okay.
just
Yeah,
saying.
that was a dumb take.
All right. Well,
Joe, when I play you in a few weeks, I have Mahomes and Dak both on buys.
Perfect. Yep.
Jared's
And I
gonna
haven't
win.
had any
The
buys
Rams
yet
on a
this
bye.
year, so I'm probably gonna be next week.
You might actually beat me.
Jared's going 7 and 7 this
Yeah.
year, making the playoffs 6 seed. I already called it.
Well, I mean, all my buys are working out perfect. Next week, Cooper Kupp's on a bye.
He
So
timed
then
that
I'll
out.
start Khalil Shakir. Then only Fields is on a bye. I'll start McCarthy. Week after that, no buys. Like, it's going to work out perfect. Then just Pittman. So then I'll start Shakir.
Yeah.
Or Johnson, or who else? Cooper Kupp. I have like one bye every week.
Can you name your team the Colts?
No, I only have like what? 1,
Do you get it, Jared?
3 Colts. I only have 3 Colts and I only start
That's
one
not
of
what
them.
he meant, though.
Okay, my bad. No, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
oh, okay. You meant one.
That was really nice of you to think that, Jared.
Well, no, the worst week is going to
I'm
be
not that nice.
the worst week is going to be week 12. Let's see who I play week 12. It's probably going to be Drew because he's lucky as hell. I'm sure I'm going to play Drew week 12.
I hope it is actually.
I play the replacements, the 0-6 team. I'll be okay.
What? Okay, that's awesome. That's even
No
better.
Herbert, no Johnston. I'll be okay.
Talk about the luckiest
Jared's winning that league.
schedule shakeout ever.
I might get the top 2 seed.
Jared's winning it.
Okay.
All right.
Relax.
You guys got anything else?
Just saying.
Brewers in 7. I already
She
saw it.
Rice is putting up 20 fantasy points this week.
Yeah, I buy it. What else do I have?
Still believe in the Brewers, really.
I believe in the Brewers. Well, what else did I see? Oh, do you guys see how they're using Kyle Hamilton now with Baltimore? He's like almost playing like a linebacker because they can't get any stops. He's like not even playing safety anymore.
Really?
Yeah, like
Also,
He's
Lou
not- he's
Anarumo,
really weird.
love the guy. Lou Anarumo had Ashton Doolin as a pass rusher.
Dude, what was that
One
play?
play.
He ran from he was lining up as
All
edge
the
on
way
one
around.
side and ran all the way
Yeah.
around the other. It's like the
Doesn't know what he's doing out there.
5 seconds just for him to get there. That's just so awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll wrap it here. Zack Rausch, Jared Valleskey, and myself, Drew Skyberg, here on this Wednesday night. Thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew Sports Crew, The Journey to Million, the perfect podcast for you.